My name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here to take a look at Bad Villain Zoom, the music video. Now, as the dance practice and other materials get released, it will be tacked onto this video, so it may not be in the same session, but all of it gets early released on Patreon before it makes its way onto YouTube in one big chunk if you're interested in wanting to get the scoops in real time. So, without further ado, I'm looking forward to this comeback from theirs. Let's get into it. Okay. Pull up with the girls, so let's go. Bullet your Honda, let's go. Take it, gotta breathe in, breathe out. She just put the bone on, let's go. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. 나 언니 좀 심줄 툭 하고 끊어지는 중. 숨 돌아 숨. This is such a vibe. It's interesting, the metallic bandages. I like the zoom gotta zoom. Her hair reminds me of the little teddy bear metal things that you see in a lot of offices. Jeez, that hair is eating. That's cool. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Nice little lingering effect there. It's a vibe. Now, that music video and structure gave XG mixed with Young Posse in how it was shot. Like, it feels that way. It's a vibe for sure. I am curious about the choreography because some of the setups on it, they're just not, they wouldn't be the types of sequences that you would normally go with on the type of like tone you're hearing. So it just makes me very intrigued on what we chose to go with. There wasn't really a ton of notable choreographic moments that really stuck to me. I would say maybe just this. Everything else just kind of felt standard, but a lot of that could very simply be we were focusing more on the music video visuals, and a lot of the beauty of what makes the choreography look really dope on the track is we'll see revealed in the dance practice, but I'm very much looking forward to it. We got the fixed cam right here, just got launched. Let's go. Ready, ready. really like the speed change choices and the drastic fullness, the subtlety. It's nice. I'm a fan of that. Yeah. Zoom, gotta zoom. Cool. Yep. Yep. Woo! Fun. We've seen a lot of overlap in some of our choices in syncopation and our earlier stuff too, which I don't mind though. We can just call it the era fingerprint of Bad Villain for this. Nothing crazy there. I like the subtlety. Nice. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey. Yep. Do. Yep. Nice. That was a fun, lingering vibe there. That's cool. The nice little finish. Come on now. All right, from the jump. I'm a fan of it. I like choreo that has major contrast like that, and everybody holds it down, not just a select few. So that's a really great thumbs up for this. Cool. It's dope. Ready for it. All right, from the jump. Odd number, so you have a natural point, good symmetry to start. She sets it up. She says, "Let's go," and then some of us do choose. Whoa! Some of us choose to accent or we pop through the body roll, and some just choose to isolate it. So I find that, honestly, I think some choose to pop and some choose to shove the shoulders down. They look similar, but they are different, especially if you look at these two here. I think one of them is Emma, right? So Emma pops it, right? So she pops on the accent, and then others just shoulder body roll it down. So let's look, though. Well, yeah, that's what I'm seeing, the difference-wise. So that's just a really subtle thing. It's the texture matches enough to where you don't really have to change it. But just if you choose to cover the choreo, that would be something I know for me as a perfectionist, I would look at and go, which one's right? Is it a shoulder accent or is it a chest pop? I don't know. Anyway, but they all go down. Somebody coming from the back. I like how she pulls it. They keep their knees. Nope, they keep their forearms on their knees and they keep their body hinged over to create the visual. So the focal point has to be the hips because it's the only thing that's the outlier in the move, which is really cool. She comes up. I like the breathe in, breathe out. She brings her arms in. I like that how she hits over. So it's kind of low-key just book-ended in the sense of where you have these choices. It's really fun to see. You're able to appreciate these accent points as they go up and around. And so we have this, which is what we see later on. She has this point, and we see it slowed down in a speed change at the end, too. So that's another thing. So they come up. Oh, yeah, I didn't really talk about this. My bad. So whenever they go in, oh, sorry. Go, Jess, go. And she goes, breathe out. They come up, and I like the tension on that. Boom. And they let the chest push them to where they need to go. And then they finish the move to transition out. They go, hit, let's go. And then they drop down. And then it's nice and like I'm about to beat you up. Like it gives that vibe, right? The little hip on that is fun. And then you have the opposing directions with their choice with the dip on that, on their just bending of the knees and pushing the hips forward and back, which is really nice. So they do a little swipe there, like the crossover. She takes her arm, she accents it up, branches it underneath, and then from there, they have to like hold on for dear life because she says, I'm going for it. Boom, the swing is fun. She comes up, here we go. They go zoom, gotta zoom. So going to a bedrock, I do think we cut off the bedrock just a smidge on that. It could be very simply because of speed or because of how it's syncopated. It could not even be a bedrock. I don't know. It's quite muddled, if I'm being honest. Let me see. Yeah, because the accent point I'm seeing with the knee, one of them is stepping in and the other one's scooting out. In. So I'm not seeing like a true bedrock, I think is what I'm noticing, right? It could just be me, though. Let me see. One more time. She is. She's doing it. She's doing the bedrock all 4 times. Emma cut it off. she's doing one like accent point here, and this one's twisting. So I'm getting just subtly different deviations of it, even though the timing is similar. So that's just an observation I'm noticing. Very interesting. The little chest on the boom, boom. So I like the throw on that. It's cool. The little head, boom, 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 with the hinge over. It's also nice, which is cool. Zoom, gotta zoom, zoom. I really like how they pull that. That's really, really fun. And I'm also looking, zoom, zoom, cool. Yeah. And they end up doing it twice through, which is cool. So they go slow, and then they speed it up on the second one, and then they push out on the chest. The little chest, boom, let the head go. So I like how we progress it from head, and then we lower the body on the phrase before, and then we build it back up, chest, head, to finish up that point, which is nice. And then they take the knees. I like the little, do the 40s kind of knees on that, which is really fun. And then they go zoom when they go to the inside. Yeah, it's like we're like, not hyperventilating, but you know, whenever you have a bag, it kind of feels like that, right? Breathe in, breathe out. Letting the chest be an accent point there makes sense because you breathe with your lungs. Love that. And it goes zoom, hit. I like that. Like good levels too. Really fun way to frame where everybody is connecting to somebody in some way. I do wish that we did commit all the way instead of hovering to actually connect, but that's life, whatever, you know, pick our battles. So I like that she's the only one who kind of outliers and looks front. Everyone else does kind of look front to a certain degree, but there's like this obvious, we're making contact with something, and she's the only one who does it, which is cool. Anyway. Yeah, she does her hips on that too, and everybody else does, I think everybody does they accent more linearly instead of like rotating through it, which I find to be very fun. It's very fun to kind of talk through it because I've looked at various materials today in this recording session, and it's really fun to have such a range. Like I was more constructive on some K-pop groups, and I was more like vibing out with others, and I was looking at survival shows, and I have some Patreon requests and stuff, so it's really fun to kind of get a wide vast of material that helps challenge and refine my perspective on how we look at stuff, you know? So it's so cool. I love what I do. Goodness gracious. Anyway, so oh no, they rotate it. That's what I wanted to verify. So they end up rotating it, and I kind of like the fact that they do because it ties into our feature. She rotates with her hips, so it's a fun little middle ground to get them connected to the upper level. So that was fun. And they bring it over, that doo-doo-doo. So I like how they travel the energy down to the top of the thigh. She has her subtlety, so I like that choice. And then we have our points on this, which is also nice. Any kind of like horn imagery reminds me of BADVILLAIN, right? And then this also gives me a BADVILLAIN vibe because of their watermark. And I like that setup on that. That was cool. I like that. And then they hit boom, boom. So they end up interrupting boom, boom, that flow. And so travel it down. So she has this moment, yo! And then we have our moment. I love the little pelvic thrust party of Emma. That's fun. Bring it in. I like the bum, bum, bum. So very full. I like the vibes of this section. She has her moment there, I think, here. Some do it too. Some, I don't know what this is right here. Maybe it's I like how she keeps this over, and then we travel it and using this arm to help complement what the lower half's doing. She goes, oh, and boom, boom. And they travel to the side. She just have this energy there. And I like the BADVILLAIN vibe. Boom, 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 we switch it. We've seen this in the, la, 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 that one, right? BADVILLAIN. So that's why I'm saying there's some overlap already in some of our rotations. I feel like we've seen this already before, which is cool. I don't mind that, is my point. So a little punch on that looks fine. And then she keeps it pretty isolated. My assumption a lot of times when I see dance practices, when they do isolate and everybody else is going full, and they're the feature, they're singing that part, they have to modify in order for it to be successful in the projection of it. Totally understand that. Of course, ideal goal would be to go full out as much as everybody else is for your section while singing, but hey, we pick our battles. That's okay. Like, I think they're artists. They're singers who dance at the end of the day. It's fine. But I know they focus more on the dancing compared to the average. Like, a lot of groups in Gen 5 have to focus on dancing. But I like the fact, though, that we are subtly bringing back more of the live vocals on a lot of stuff with Gen 5 groups. But they are a heavy, heavy dance pocket group. Makes sense because of some of the people in it, for sure. Love it, though. Love it. So they accent up, and then my feature, she accented out, which was really cool. So they bring it up, the syncopation, boom, 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 with the chest to travel up the arms. I like that little interruption with the arms there. And then they have the arms tailored right underneath the chest in order to have the hips more isolated, which is fun. And then we go body roll to get to a V. And she goes da-da-da. And I like how she points and points while they all have this little reaction with that, which was fun. So she brings it to the inside. I like how they all melt onto each other on that fun little way to get back in. Then they do a nice little port de bras with the arms back out. They go out in. I like the accent down, so she has her moment, da-da-da, nice quick little speed change on that, and then she goes swing in, so I like how they transition that to get themselves back up. That looked cool. She turns out of it, they have a little party moment, party of them. They go, let's go, and then they go swing and swing. I like the swing, and then they single it out to the other side, boom, boom, and it goes doom. So I like that choice. And then we go nice little dip out of that. And they go zoom, so I like how we travel it up, boom, 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 with the to the chest and then to the head. And then we make it a nice little, it's a fun, full, slow moment. And then we go a little pulse and pulse and pulse. Yep, and it goes zoom, zoom. And then they're looking to the corner, so it does feel like we could pull tripod options, or with the camera goes from one side to the other, which was really nice. And so they're looking over to that side, and I really like the speed change on that too. Body roll, and then they're traveling it through, boom, with the reverb hinge on that, looks super fun. And we travel, boom, with a throw, which is also nice. And they pulse, good way, good spacing, good staging. So I like the little chest on that, which is also nice to pick up. And then it goes breathe in, breathe out. I like the subtlety there where they take in, they're pointing to the chest, nice and subtle, really nice to see. And then we have the chest around, which is also nice. And then they do it to the other side. So nothing crazy there. But because of the contrast going from big to small, subtle movement is really nice where they were able to do it on both sides. So it allowed you more information to process and digest versus doing the same level or same degree of fullness for the entirety of the phrase. So that was really cool to see. Nice little tap tap there, and she hits it, boom, on the accent point. So yeah, like just having this accent down, it's really fun. And anytime I see these types of points, these rotation throughs, or these, it does give me their tag that they do, which is really cool. So I like that la 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 la. So it gives that petty little drop down in ISOs, which is fun. I like the little grab, it's fun. They rotate to help just kind of like gliding motion rotation to get us reset over to a different direction. I like how she goes point and she says let's go. So they body roll. So this is a little rooftop with the body roll, and then they accent syncopate it up, which is cool. So they go swing, swing here. Great example of when you have a feature be really subtle and everybody else hold it down in more fullness, it helps you naturally clock them and continue to clock them as your feature. Love that. The opposite can also be true when they're going really full and everyone else is subtle. Really fun. You normally see that in the realm of speed changes when everyone's slow except for your feature, is when that's kind of the go-to that you normally look at. And they hit, I like the little pump, and they use that to help accent through the phrase. To finish it up, she goes, come on, let's go. And then everyone makes their own individualized choices. If they're more centered, they have a more linear angle, pointed angle. And then in there more on the outside, it's more abstract. So I think it's cool. And she says, come on now. And I think Emma even like pulled on her sweat or her sweatpants a little bit more like on time, which I thought to be really fun. She hits it. I love her intensity. Boom. And she hits it down, and everybody not like comes out of their hold. Great example of what I just talked about. That's another way you can see it. There's like 15,000 ways you can do it, but like a really big one I see is when everyone's still and somebody's moving. Yeah, your obvious one. And then there's also speed changes, a really subtle dynamic if you wanted to enhance your texture in an environment. It's cool. So I like her little point on that. It was really fun, very intense. And what's cool that helped justify the point and the rotation of it is that everybody rotated towards the inside to help make that feel like her movement was causing a pull of their bodies to turn around. So that was really nice. So from there, I like the hit where they let their body lean over, having it framed over to the side, and the brush on that, which is fun. Hit and the boom, double it up. I like the pulse on the chest, hit and a tap, and we bring it around the back. So I like the accent with the hand to help make that hip a little bit more of a focal point because you have those arms around it too. She looks as she transitions, so I really like that choice. She says, come on, let's go. And then I like the hinge on this with the arms, good angle on that. And then you have the flick. She does just a little arched back, a fixed point moment. We love that. Good shoulder flexibility, good hips on that. It's fun. Tension on this is also nice. So you have a group of 5 creating a little semicircle. You have a little partner section right there. They go, let's go. So they inflate, but they interrupt the inflation. So that was really cool. And then she has an accent with a shampoo. They also respond to it with their bodies, and they hit it over, boom. And then they end up taking the chest. They accent, rotate. So I really like that choice. And then they go out in. We've seen this move before from, I think it was one of their pre-debut ones. I don't know if it was 82 or if it was Hurricane, but yeah, we're very familiar with this move. You end up seeing it, what was it, with Team Bebe? They did it for Chile, Dele, Huas's track. So it's just a fun move to see. The click, body roll up, they're down, she hits it, boom. I'm here, what you want. She has a feminine posture compared to everybody else having a more masculine posture, which was really cool. And then they end up body rolling or legatoing out of it, which was really nice. So they go throw, throw, throw to kind of weave and thread through the transition, which was really nice. So then from there, that was a really fun transition. So she hits in content, zoom, dada, zoom, and she's now in that secondary line position, which is really cool. And I like these rotations with the throw and accent point to kind of chunk the energy forward. And then they hit do-doom, and they go subtle, boom, down, and they go rock, rock, or just a nice little just rotation of the wrists on that, and they bring it over. And I like the travel through with the snaking on that. They rotate with the arms once again. They push the energy with the leg around, and they hit it over. I like the throw on this with the cross on that as well. And they build it up, boom, one, da, da. So I like the speed change on it where it's interrupted, where it goes slow, fast, very accented. I love that with the pick up of the foot too. And then having your feature in center, she does literally none of the arms, and then she builds it up in her own mannerisms, and they all end up throwing the arms on that to get a nice transition. They breathe in, breathe out with the hip on that is fun, and they hit boom, body roll down, and then breathe in, breathe out just with the step together on that, which is nice. Boom, da-da-dum. So I like so taking it out and down. And then they take it through, boom, with the knock to the side, the little hit, and then we bring up the subtlety on that once again. She says, come on, let's go. Then you have the zoom like on a motorcycle. So I like that choice on that, which is fun. They bring it over, ding, ding, ding. So with adding the extra shoulders on that as well. They swing, and then they rotate that leg, taking it, scuffing it to the front. I like the clap on it too. Looks good. She says, boom, let me brush that hair real quick. Let's go. They do a little sneeze to transition it. Then they drop down, except for your feature. She says, come on now, let's go. Very subtle, very tense compared to what we were seeing from this already. And then they come up and pop it off in accent. So they take their arms, they dig the arms over to the side, and then your feature stays up. So then you have a level that separates, but they're doing the same lower half, which is nice. And it goes zoom from high to low. Then she says, la, 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 la. And I like how they rotate those arms around. Same thing as from one side to the other. So how they have it structured, it's very similar, but there's some subtle differences either in positioning or in the dynamics themselves being shown that allows it to have more of a captivation, and a longer time to digest it, which is what you want. It's cool. So you have the knees on that, and I like how they're hinging it too, so it's fun. And then you have the head to nod to help match the same frequency in which they're moving their knees. So that was cool. Taking the arms, hit, boom, boom, boom. Right there by the wrists, and then they bring it over. I like the subtle levels on that as well. Looks good, and it separates that feature from that back line, even though they both are on the same level, right? And then you have, but let's go. So I like the head on this part. They extend that arm out, and they go zoom, and they let the hip, they travel it over, and they're creating this little pinch over on the side, letting the chest accent over to that left side. Hip goes to the right, twinkle it in. I like how they look at it, and then they're still going across, and then they finish. Some chose to reverb it. Very subtle, nothing crazy. And there you have it. Very nice, Bad Villain. I think choreographically speaking, matches the track quite well. Zoom out of zoom. You could run into the problem of a like on the breathe in, breathe out. It could look not, I don't know. You have the potential risk of it looking really redundant, right? So I think taking the approach they did on the courses was really well done, because it didn't feel like we were just copy pasting, even though the track does give that kind of vibe to a certain degree, but because the structure of how the composition allows us to be introduced to different variants of zoom, which makes it more captivating long-term in a routine for us to appreciate. So all in all, I had a lot of fun watching this. I hope you guys had a lot of fun watching it with me. I've been trying to keep up to date with some of the Gen 5 groups, but I've been tackling a lot of marathons over on the Patreon side. So my apologies if I'm a bit on the slower end when it comes to releasing some of these updated, but they all show up on Patreon way faster. So if you're like, Jess, I want to know what you look at in real time, go over there. It's all hanging out over there, ready for you to enjoy. Y'all know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.